Positive energy all the time. Good to see you all tonight. Hopefully, I don't get in any trouble. Represent your city. I see the beautiful and gorgeous Stisha in the building with your extra pretty self. Shout out to all my people on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Kick. We got San Francisco in the house. I hope you're feeling well, brother. I hope your health is picking up. Oh, here we go. Rep your city. I was on the phone talking to a friend, talking about babies, people having babies. And I was telling them about I have a friend, she can't have no babies. Uh, and she wish she can have babies. And I was telling her that a lot of people, younger people, don't want to have babies. And she was like, she was really didn't understand that. She said one of the reasons they're not having babies is because they can. She said, but if they thought they couldn't have babies, they'd be trying to have them. I told them we got a new generation that's scared to have babies. I don't know. I don't know what that's about. You know, I don't know how they trick the young generation out of having babies. It's weird. And might is it because of divorce, child support, or what is it? I'm not sure. I know it's weird to see young men and women that don't want to have babies. It's such a false concept that babies are a problem. I don't know where that came from. Maybe from social media because they'll show like a couple arguing kind of back and forth and he mad he can't see the baby. I don't know, maybe it's social media, maybe it's Facebook, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. You say money, divorce, child support, upbringing, media, lack of awareness. Yeah, I guess it's a little strange for me to look at somebody having a problem and just automatically think that's going to be my problem. I know you laying down the reasons, and I do agree, quite, and that's their reasons. But I think social media is giving people the impression that anything they see with somebody else will happen to them. Good to see you, Arnell. I know a young lady that has a baby, and the baby's father don't be doing nothing for the baby. And the baby's father got another child, and he owes child support on that baby. And he's got another baby, and that woman's not putting no child support on that baby. And the father is not a good example of why not to get married because he's a deadbeat. And so a lot of these situations where you're looking at child support, you're looking at deadbeat daddies, where these women don't have no choice but to get child support because their daddies are deadbeat. We live in a time where a brother have a baby, leave her over there with the baby till he feel like it, and go buy a bunch of Jordans and fancy clothes. Won't buy nothing for his baby. If I had to look at child support, and I know there's wrong on both sides, but if you have to say for which side is the wrongest, I would definitely say the men by far. I would say the men because men are known to just want to have babies with no responsibility. As a man, we don't fuck with a lot of men. We be around a lot of fucking losers as men. Something men don't want to admit. As men, ladies, as men, we be around a lot of losers. And any man that's really outside like that will tell you there's more positive women than there is men. For sure. There's more women that would make you a good wife than there are men that would make a woman a good husband. That's a fact. There's hardly no men for men to deal with. The men are weirdos. For real. The men have all type of emotional issues, all type of issues, like a lot of issues. And not black men, men. Men, and not all of them, but a large amount from every race have serious issues. Serious issues. That's why, so when you look at couples and you say, well, why it can't be more married couples? Why it can't be more men work with men? Because we can't work with men. It's very hard for a man to find men to work together. It's damn near impossible. There's women that got issues. So, when you got people got issues, it is a problem. And so when you with a woman and she got issues to here, a man with that same level of issues is going to be here. Because it's way worse when a man got issues. When a woman has issues, it's very easy for a man to help her work on her issues. But when a man has issues, a woman can't really do nothing with a man with issues. You gotta hit the notification bell, Nicole, and it'll unnotify you, and then hit it again. Sometimes you gotta hit the notification. Nobody's getting notifications. YouTube is dropping notifications because YouTube, I'm sure, is having a hard time uh, electronically keeping all of this data. I'm sure they're having a hard time getting all this data to work. So I'm sure their data is struggling. With the amount of videos and stuff people making, YouTube is probably not working right too much. Yeah, YouTube's probably not working that good. Anybody remember when MySpace started having those problems? MySpace was going real good, and then once MySpace got so many people, it started crashing. Nothing would work right. So YouTube is probably trying to figure out how to upgrade their system. They probably need more computers. They have to have these big data banks. So they might gotta double their data banks, which be in rooms, big old rooms. You know what I'm saying? What's up, G-Rod? So YouTube is probably having a hard time keeping up with all of this data and all this electronics. They probably trying to figure out how to upgrade their system right now. Instagram is, you can see Instagram, Facebook, but YouTube is the busiest right now. So you can see they having some problems, some data problems. Storing data is, you see how these people say they're going to start a social media. Yeah, they said they're going to start a social media, but once they get so many people log in and they got to update data and they find out how expensive it's going to be, that's why a lot of social media, a lot of people can't do it. You understand? So I'm gonna talk about this female boxing, but I just wanted to talk about that. But I just got finished talking why people come over to a friend about having children. And I'm not understanding people don't want to have no children. In terms of child support, a man gets with a woman and has a baby by her. I can't speak straight fairly on child support without taking into consideration will he cheat on her, right? And so when a man tell me, "Oh, my baby mama, she doing me dirty with child support," is he telling the whole story? Did he get with Shorty, get her pregnant, was running around cheating on her, and it was a bad breakup, and now she's angry because these men be cheating. They don't get in a relationship and take the relationship seriously. And that's what and so it encourages the women to be cheating because the men cheat on both sides. What do I mean by that? A man will cheat on his woman, and a man will also try to sleep with another man's woman. So the men are ruining relationships, theirs and other men's relationships. Men think it's cool to sleep with another man's woman, girlfriend, fiance, wife. And so I'm not standing on men's side, knowing your history as men. You have not conducted yourself like kings and princes. You've conducted yourself like losers and bums. Your own friends can't trust you around their girlfriend and their wife. Look at T Grizzly sleeping with his uncle's wife while his uncle's in jail or prison. What y'all think about that? You know what I'm saying? His uncle goes to jail. He sleeps with the wife. Now the wife is unalive. Who does that? Who does that? Yeah, T Grizzly, the rapper, the gamer rapper. The wife is the business manager. It's his uncle's wife. It's his aunt-in-law. His uncle goes to jail or prison. He goes sleep with his uncle's wife, his aunt-in-law. And then men want to come tell me women this and women that and women this. When the main person, and I can speak for black men, the main person we cannot trust is another black man. I can't say we can 100% trust women because some women be doing snaky stuff. But men encourage our women to be snakes. Men encourage them to be snakes. Men talk about making women snakes, talking about sleeping with somebody's woman. That means you are defiling the women. That means you are encouraging the women to cheat on somebody, and somebody's encouraging your woman to cheat on you. So then they say you don't want to have no babies. Well, I bet you don't, because you're a bunch of cheaters and losers, and you don't want to be responsible. You're a bunch of little baby boys. Some of them is little baby boys, and you want to go and you want to gang bang and you want to shoot people. Then you want to cry and you want to snitch when you get caught. When you get caught, you want to tell on Pharaoh and you want to tell on everybody because you can't do your time, do the baby boo boo. There ain't no honor sleeping with no woman that ain't yours. Your uncles, another dudes, or nothing. There ain't no honor and want to go up in a woman right behind another man. Pause. Period. There ain't no honor of seeing a woman with a man and wanting that woman more than all the women walk around without a man. That is a sickness. That is a sickness. When you rap it and you talk about sleeping with somebody else's woman with all these single women, that is demonic. If they think it's a flex, but what it is they're creating a society that's going to destroy them. They're creating a society they're going to cry about. Because if they create that society, now they can't have no baby. Yes, they're going to get robbed for child support because they teaching women to be vipers and snakes. So how could you as a man encourage women to be snakes and then think you're going to be able to have a baby and have a good relationship yourself? It don't make no sense. So you're going to do all this snake stuff. You're going to try to change your life. You're going to fall in love with somebody. You're going to marry her, and then some dude going to do the snake stuff, and she going to do the snake stuff. So now you just got to not never get married. So now you just got to never get married. Well, Tupac said a lot of stuff in the song, but he'll sleep with your woman in a heartbeat. So I ain't listening to Tupac. Tupac had just got out of jail and went to start fighting in Vegas. So he ain't the brightest bulb in the lamp. So he the last nigga I'm going to listen to. That's my man. But I ain't listening to this motherfucker ass. That's why I'm alive and he dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm not listening to Tupac. I'm not listening to Tupac. That's for sure. You know what I'm saying? Tupac is unalive. Because he was a goofy. He was doing goofy stuff. Okay? He was doing goofy stuff. He's my favorite rapper, but he's not my favorite person to listen to. He was a goofy. Doing goofy stuff. Who gets out of jail and beat up somebody in Vegas? Huh? Why you out on bail? You out on $1 million bail. You beat somebody up on camera in Vegas. If he wouldn't get unalive, he probably would have got violated. All he had to do was the Vegas press charges on for fighting in a club, and then he gonna have a criminal record in Vegas. They're gonna send that to New York. He gonna have to go turn himself in. You know what I'm saying? On camera. Some ain't even had nothing to do with him. They're gonna do taking the chain. They ain't even take your chain. That's a whole nother video about dudes trying to be tough and trying to impress the guys. That's a whole nother video. Stop trying to impress the guys. That's another way you lose your woman. You got a good woman. She at home. You go out with your boy. You want to impress your boy. He run into a chick and her friend. You try to impress him. He talk you into going to sleep with the other girl. Whatever. Ruin your whole family. Now you betray your son. Because anytime you betray your son, mama, you betray your son. But you so stupid you don't know you let your son down. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say everybody wants to sleep with a wife, with his wife, but some people. Everybody in the NBA. I don't understand all the choices NBA players and entertainers have. They want to sleep with each other's wife. Now, that's I'm not going to generalize. So everybody in the NBA is not doing that. Let me be clear on that. Everybody in the NBA and all the entertainers are not doing that. Okay. Many entertainers are not trying to sleep with your wife because many entertainers are gay. So they ain't trying to sleep with no man, no woman. They trying to sleep with somebody's husband, if anything. So that's false because everybody's not even heterosexual. So I'm not gonna stereotype, but there is some cases of that, but not everybody. You know what I'm saying? So there is some cases of that, but not everybody. But there are some cases of that. But maybe I'll do a whole live on that. We'll get into that. But I just don't understand why uh, young brothers ain't trying to have no babies. Because you can go get paperwork. If a woman really love you, and you can get a contract saying, if y'all break up, you're going to pay this much. You could, because one thing for sure, if you break up, you're going to have to pay something. So the whole thing that you scared of child support, that you had this child, well, why you didn't drop no contract for child support? Because you're going to have to pay child support. So I don't understand that. If I get a woman pregnant and she have my baby, I either got to pay child support through child support or I got to pay child support to her. But I got to take care of the baby. So I'm confused when you say you don't want to pay no child support. Do you mean you don't want to support your child? Because they always say they don't want to pay no child support, but they never talk about taking care of their baby. You still got to take care of that baby. Okay? You can't you can't not take care of the baby. If I'm get with a woman, she get pregnant, she have my daughter, whether she cheat on me or whatever, my daughter ain't to blame for that. Why should I punish my daughter? I'm still gonna take care of my daughter. But you on some stuff well, since she cheated on me, I'm gonna make my son suffer. I'm gonna make my daughter suffer. Nah, you're gonna still take care of your daughter. Your daughter didn't cheat on you. Your son didn't cheat on you. Why you ain't buying him no clothes? Why you ain't making sure he got no food? You want her to pay for all that? On top of all that, if we did a lie detector test, you probably cheated too. I guarantee you that in some situations where women cheated on this man, probably 50 to 60% of the time he was cheating too. There's probably very few times where only one of them was cheating. At least 50% of the time when there's cheating in a relationship, I bet you both of them were cheating. You was missing and then she was missing. And you come want to know why she was missing, but where was you at? You come from your girlfriend's house mad because she with some dude. You smiling and grinning and flirting with the girls at your job. You ever go into these businesses and you see these women in the businesses and you be seeing the dudes in there flirting with them? It ain't even his woman. He can't work around no woman without trying to get in her underwear. What business I was at? I just seen the dude doing that. I was just looking at him. Because I'm like, yeah, you talking across to this lady over here. She probably already got a boyfriend. You all at the job being extra friendly, trying to ruin their relationship. Man, shut up talking to her, do your job, and go home. You know, he looked, you know what I'm saying? So look at this. Oh, that was at the post office. And the dude keep hollering at the girl down there. And that's not your woman, bro. It just show you he can't be around no woman. Any woman he around, he think he's supposed to talk to her. You know what I'm saying? We'll talk about that some other time. We're gonna talk about boxing because my boy called me, said that I watched the fight, and I had people on YouTube and stuff ask me did I watch the fight, and I was like, no, I don't watch no ladies fight. I ain't watching no ladies fighting, man. How corny can you get? I ain't watching no females box, man. That's supposed to be good. Like two ladies out there boxing. I never watched female box. I didn't watch Layla Ali. I never watched her fight. I never watched no females fight. Females can't fight. I didn't watch no female fights. You know what I'm saying? It just don't look right. They females. You see when men fight and you see women that go to the fight with us. Women be trying to be with they man going to the fight because it'd be a date. So if me and Nicole is a couple and it's a big fight, then I'm about you tickets and we going to the fight. I'm really going to see the fight. She going to be on the date. So let's say the fight is Friday night. Me and her, we're gonna get there Thursday night, maybe Wednesday. So it's all kind of shit I'm gonna make sure she's gonna be doing way before we get to the fight. She's gonna be already to have fun. She gonna be having fun before the fight, after the fight, do the fight, because for her it's a date. She gonna be there with me watching the fight and enjoying the fight. But the fight not for her, the fight is for me and she on the date. If they had to depend on women to pay for the fights, then nobody would watch the fight. And so and so then it was a bunch of them, and they had me in the speaker. There's a bunch of ladies over there. They was having a party on, And so then they got mad at me because I said I wouldn't talk to no boxing chick. I wouldn't talk to no butchy chick. That wouldn't turn me on. I like soft breasts. I like soft, beautiful women. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't like my woman, you know what I'm saying? I don't, my woman can't be like this. I like soft, you know what I'm saying? When I'm making love with a woman, she's soft. See what I'm saying? She don't get hard. I'm the one supposed to get hard. The coochie not supposed to get hard. It's supposed to get softer and softer and wetter and wetter. What are we doing? So how you like a hard woman? That means a dry coochie, don't it? You can't have a hard, wet coochie. If it's wet, it's gonna be soft. I don't know. I'm confused. Soft breast, ass is soft. I mean, I ain't worried about her lift me up and stuff like that. That ain't the point how strong she is. The point is, I like women. I don't like dudes. So when a woman starts getting too duty, that's not that's not appealing to me. I ain't gonna say no name, but any of these women out there boxing, I would never talk to them. Hell no. I would never try to talk to them. They wouldn't be appealing to me. They might be appealing to other brothers. I ain't gonna say they ain't cute to somebody, but cute don't sound hard. Cute sound fluffy and soft. I don't know how you could be strong and cute, you know? I don't know. And so, I couldn't watch that kind of stuff. When I watch women's sports, I'm looking for serious technical skills. So I like stuff like the ice skating. I like the ice skating. That's what I'd be fascinated with the women figure skate when they be doing all that spinning and jump and do like 4 flips with them sharp skates on. Cause I can't ice skate good. I can ice skate, but ice skating, man, you gotta skate on that little bitty thing. See, roller skating, we could do that all day. Hey, I could roller skate all day, but ice skating, it's just a little piece of metal in the middle on some ice, so you got to be good. And so I like to watch ice skating. I like to watch the jump rope competition, stuff like that. I like watching things they can do where it ain't a whole lot of difference between the men and the women, like volleyball. It's not a whole lot of difference between male volleyball and women's volleyball. The NBA, I don't like because the women don't have the skill set of the men, so it don't look good. You know what I'm saying? So if I watch the WNBA, that look like high school. That look like high school basketball. It don't look like pro basketball. But definitely boxing. You know what I'm saying? I don't like women's boxing. You know what I'm saying? I don't like women. I don't like women getting hit. You know what I'm saying? When I come from, you don't hit women. And I was raised with my sister. I was taught never to hit my sister. So to watch, I wouldn't want to watch women punching each other. It's brutal enough with the men. They had to bring in better rules with the men, and they doing a good job with the men. So now they kind of stopping the fight so it won't get so bad. Like the dude with the big lump on his head. Remember back then? I watched that fight where dude could have got unalived out there. So with men's boxing, I could deal with it because they not letting them go too far, right? But they still hitting each other. But a man could take a couple blows or whatever. But I don't really want to see no woman get hit in the jaw. It just, I don't know. I don't see where that's proper. It looks primitive, right? And any man that will watch that and enjoy that, I would look at him as something wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, what kind of man wants to see two ladies punching each other in the face? Like, I don't know. There's no decency in that. It's like you lost all your decency. A woman's not even a woman no more. You're trying to blur the lines, with the whole LGBTQ and all that. The whole lines is just getting too blurred for me. And we live in a world where the younger generation, you trying to come and you trying to push this new ideology. And then people like me, you saying, I got to change. But I'm saying your shit going to fail. Why would I change and follow your failing concepts? Because your concepts, your new concepts, they're going to fail. Period. It's not going to work. If you keep going in the direction you're going, your society going to crumble. Fact. So why would I follow you down a dead end street? because you think you know where you're going with a bunch of strange type of nah. Now if you own that, if you know what I'm saying, then cool. That's on you. But don't think you're gonna bring in this dark energy, and don't think everybody gonna sign up for that like that. Everybody not. We're not doing this. We're not doing that. No. So I don't want to see no. I don't want to see no dudes. With no, doing no girly stuff and no women boxing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see no role reversal like that. Nah, that's whack. You know what I'm saying? A boxer passed away last weekend from a boxing match. Yeah. So they was on the phone saying, well, dang, man, so you don't like it? So I asked, because it was three brothers over there. I think maybe four, but three, one of them, I don't think he had no children, but three brothers over there. And two of them got daughters. This how funny people is. So I said, Marvin, would you let Sharice box? He like, hell no. Bro, you phony. Neither one of them, well, it's crazy. They telling me there ain't nothing was wrong with it. I asked them would they want their daughters to box. They said no. Because they didn't know I was going to ask them that. They forgot they got daughters. As soon as I brought up little Sharice, all of a sudden, my man like, no. You know what I'm saying? As soon as I brought up little Sharice, his daughter, all of a sudden he like, no, my daughter can't be out there getting punched all in her shit. I said, bro, you phony as hell. That's my man and shit. These are the type of conversations we be having in real life. He admitted it though. He said, man, I ain't even look at it like that, Roski. He said, Roski, I ain't look at it like that. I got to reevaluate. He said, that nigga stupid. He like, man, I got to drink some more of this drink. I got to reevaluate, Roski. I got to reevaluate. I said, all right. That's my nigga if you don't get no bigger. But yeah, nigga, reevaluate. Because I got three daughters. Ain't none of them get in no boxery and get punched all in their chest. They got to flatten their breast down, wrap their breast down. 20 years later, my baby got breast cancer. She got a tumor. She got a lump. You know what I'm saying? She can't have no babies because she took a punch to the stomach. Just common sense stuff. Stuff my mama told me as a little baby. I understood this at 3 years old, 4 years old. My mama told me, if your sister hit you, Michael, come tell me. Because if you hit her back, you might hurt her. Because she a girl. She not like you. You a boy. She a girl. If you make a mistake and hit her in the wrong place, you could hurt her. You understand? I said, yeah, mama. And then I went and I looked. I started investigating. My mom would lay our clothes out. I did my investigating. And I seen my mom was right because I looked at my clothes, my underclothes, and I seen a t-shirt, I seen an undershirt, some drawers, and some socks. I looked at my sister's underclothes. It's a whole bunch of shit. So I'm like, wait a minute. What is all this she got to put on? She got like this little t-shirt thing. Then she got like a slip. Then she got panties, stockings. I was like, oh, no. No, I got three pieces. She got 5, 6. She got put on a whole bunch of shit. So right then I knew, oh, no, okay, yeah, we definitely ain't the same. I don't got to put all that on. I ain't never had to put on no slip. What you mean women need to stop challenging men to a fate? I don't know what you're talking about. Women be challenging you to a fade. I ain't never had no woman challenging me to a fade. If women is challenging men to a fade, it ain't nothing wrong with the women then. That means something wrong with the men. If women is challenging y'all to a fade, what that say about y'all? I'm confused. Listen, if women are challenging men to a fade, what do it say about them men? I'm in Chicago. I know what you're talking about. I synced it. I'm asking you though. I'm asking you directly. You said you didn't say you're not YouTube, Tiny. You. You said women need to stop challenging men to a fade. I'm asking you if a woman challenge you to a fade, why? Why are women comfortable with challenging men to a fade? Why? Because Tiny, guess what? When I asked you why are women challenging men to a fade. You said women need to stop challenging men to a fade. You didn't say you. So I'm not saying you either. I'm asking you why. I'm asking you why. You made a statement. Women need to stop challenging men to a fade. I'm asking you why are women challenging men to a fade? I didn't ask why I didn't challenge you. You're not. Okay, here we go. Y'all be saying stuff. Okay, you don't know why. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. So, all right, you got women challenging men to a fade. If it's happening in Chicago. Let me ask y'all a question. The young gang members in Chicago, the killers, right? The shooters, the young savages in Chicago. When you see them on Instagram and YouTube, are they more masculine or feminine? The savages, the shooters, the gang members, are they more masculine to you or feminine? What y'all think? The gangsters, how they carry themselves? Are they more masculine to you or feminine? I think that's a good question. Because we're going to get to the bottom of like, okay, you saying this. What y'all think? Like the gangsters with the switches and all that. The ones I got to be outside with. Y'all said feminine. The ones I got to be outside with. The gangsters. The real. They the most gangsters ever. Gangster ever. And then I can tell you why the women is like how they is. If that's her counterpart, You know, if that's her counterpart, you know what I'm saying? If you're a female, if you're a female and you outside and you raised in the hood outside, and little boys you raise outside is moving like this, you might challenge him if he gets his hair done and shit. If he get his hair all cute and shit, you know what I'm saying? She might challenge him. You know what I'm saying? When when the, when the lines get blurred like this, you know what I'm saying? When the lines get blurred, yeah, she might challenge him because he like a hardcore gangster little with a little girly, and she a hardcore gangster with a little duty. You know, they bleeding off on each other. The men is taking in some of the feminine, and the women is taking in some of the masculine, and you getting like these weirdo gangsters. Like this, they bleeding off on each other. The masculine one ain't really masculine, and the feminine one ain't really feminine. So when you say why the ladies challenging, are they really ladies? So then if you say they not really ladies, then what you think about the chicks boxing? Because how could you watch chicks boxing and then ask me, why would a chick challenge a dude to box? That's you asking me what I'm asking y'all. I'm asking y'all why is chicks out there boxing? If a chick is gonna box, ain't she gonna challenge a dude? And if dude's watching it, what can a dude say? If men is watching women box, what can he say when she wanna box him? Listen, if men are watching women box, then men are condoning women boxing. So now, if a woman want to box a man, how is that strange if you watching women box? If you watching women play basketball? If you watching chicks hoop? You know what I mean? Because hooping was always masculine. You know, we was always finna go hoop. I ain't really know my sister or Leslie or Julie going hooping. I remember women hooping. Hooping was masculine. Hooping, when we going to hoop, that was only something men did. My sister never went hoop. My sister don't hoop. My sister don't be at the park hooping. When I was growing up, the park was on the next block. It ain't no girls over there. Girls ain't at the park. Girls on the block, on the porch. Girls ain't popping wheelies on bikes. How do you know the girls ride a bike? My sister and me and my sister got a swing at the same time. Hers just stayed in the basement. I end up taking hers apart and remaking hers. She wasn't never riding it. You understand? So that's why I'm trying to show you the lines is blurred. Where you a gangster with your hair did, with your dreads did. You been saying somebody lap. Didn't they say one of these dudes, I ain't gonna say her name, was in the county jail? Didn't Loose Cannon say somebody was sitting between the man's leg getting his hair did? Getting his hair did in the county jail. I just saying. I'm just saying. You can't like straddle the fence. You can't you can't straddle the fence, and it's cool when the chick is boxing, but it ain't cool when your woman up a blick on you, call you all type of shit and gangster you. I don't know. Make it make some sense. And for brothers dating a boxing chick and they get into an argument and she's still on them, ain't that his fault for even having her in that type of, even condoning her really being butchy like that? You know, you out there, when you a woman, you know, a woman and stuff. You out there, everything you doing is man. Boxing come from men. Boxing don't come from women. So for a woman to become a boxer, she got to go and box like a man. She got to move like a man. She got to do everything a man established in the art of boxing. She got to box like a man because boxing is a man's sport. So now when a woman got to go learn how to box, she got to learn how to emulate a man. If I'm wrong, go back to my childhood and show me women boxing. There was no such thing. Women's boxing is new from Ali daughter era. And the more Layla fought, the more and more she looked like a man. The more she fought, the more masculine she started looking. She boxed all the female out of her. Then they go and they try to take these big old strong masculine women and try to dial them up and put them on Essence magazine and stuff, but they don't be looking right. I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure he didn't. I'm sure he didn't. And so, you know, I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I know what they pushing. They pushing it. And they pushing it hard. They pushing it. You know, I go on my thing. They show some daddy. He set up a whole bakery for his daughter. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna bake with his daughter and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? They say, Pharaoh, come on, man. You wouldn't play bakery with your daughter? No. My daughter, if I play bakery with my daughter got to go in there and pretend she baked. Then she call daddy and I come to eat and she can serve me. I'm not putting on no motherfucking apron and playing bacon. I'm not I'm not doing my daughter's nails. You understand? I'm not doing my some of y'all be saying little stuff that almost be like weird. It's weird you even saying that. Like you throwing people's names in there. Some of y'all, you know, when I see you, the way you discuss stuff and the way you bring up names, it be kind of weird because you be throwing stuff in there. And when you really look at, like he just said, Obama did it, right? But it don't fit the conversation, right? And so you have to look at yourself and say, well, what the hell that got to do? You know what I'm saying? What that got to do with this conversation? So then that's when you're seeing somebody on some other little weird shit. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing little stuff and you can see it. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be like a fake jab or something for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Because that makes no sense. I did a whole live stream on him already. Yeah, I did the thing on Obama saying we need to be around finding gay men. And then I did one about the person saying playing with dolls. So for somebody to come and tell me Obama said it when I already did a live on that, that's why I don't think that was an authentic statement. That was like a funny statement because I covered that the day it happened. You know what I'm saying? So why was it what? I already covered that. Why is you telling me something somebody did that I did a whole live on it? So you're not giving me no new information. So you just like trying to throw the name out there, but it's got nothing to do with our conversation. So you're like, well, let me throw Obama in it. It's like, bro, that's off topic. Isn't the women's suffrage and equal rights movement some part response? No, no. Women's suffrage had nothing to do with acting like no dude. No. My grandmom and them did. My grandmom and them didn't act like no dude. No, women's suffrage had nothing to do with a role reversal. Women's suffrage had something to do with being able to have some rights as a woman, not to act like a man. Okay? The women's rights movement had nothing to do with trying to be a man. The women's rights movement has something to do with women's rights as women. Women, this has nothing to do with women. Boxing has nothing to do with women's rights. So that's getting confusing because I don't know. I don't know how boxing got anything to do with women's rights because they got the right to box. They're boxing. The question I'm talking about is it a decent thing for women to be out there taking that type of punishment in a male sport when she got breasts, she get pregnant, and she not a man. Now the women's rights movement had nothing to do with competing with men. It had something to do with women had to work. If I got a woman and we get a divorce, she's single. She still got to work. So she got to have rights because not every woman is going to be married. So women's rights was about the dignity of women because women didn't have any rights. So they had women under like slavery. So like they would have your great grandmother working for no money, right? You take some of the masculinity come from the chemicals in the food. That's not gonna make a boxing match. That's not gonna book a boxing match. That's not gonna make y'all. That's not gonna make y'all men go watch boxing. Because a lot of y'all men went and just watched the lady fight. The chemicals in the food didn't make you go watch. Didn't make you go watch a fight. You went and watched women fight because you helping them blur the lines. And so why you try to put it on everybody else? What about all you men that just supported feminine women fighting like men? Let's not jump all into Obama and all this. Let's talk about the brothers that supported that fight. Being a police and being a soldier are men's jobs too, ain't they? Being a police and being a soldier, getting in the military can be done for a woman, but you wouldn't have the same position as the men. A woman can get on the police department, but she shouldn't have the same position as a man. So there could be women on the police department doing jobs that won't necessarily call for no physical activity. Like here in Chicago, they just drive around writing tickets, stuff like that. They ain't really got to get involved with no stuff. And if it's enough men there, some pop off. The women ain't got to put themselves out there. But as far as in the military, having a woman as a grunt, having a woman crawling on the ground like a man, if you got enough men, no, I don't agree with that. That should be men. Women should only get in the military if they're fighting for their village and too many men get killed, then the women gonna have to still go fight for the babies and fight for the village. So under emergency situation, yeah, a woman's got to fight. You understand? Well, you telling me what you seeing, what that got to do with what I'm saying. You understand? So if I come and say we don't want these women in these masculine positions, and you come show me women in a masculine position, that don't make no sense to me when I'm saying I don't so y'all ain't making no sense. Because y'all trying to show me something I'm already talking against. So if I say, I don't like these women doing masculine stuff, and you say, well, this woman masculine, that woman masculine, that don't make no sense to me. You ain't making no sense. That's like me saying I don't like women boxing, and you show me a bunch of women boxing. Okay. So I say, man, women should be boxing. You say, well, this woman boxing, that woman boxing. That makes sense to you? What should I say after somebody said that? If I say I don't like women boxing, and you come over here and show me a bunch of women boxing, what am I supposed to say? I mean, you got to understand something. Wow, just because you're agreeing with me, don't mean you typed it in a way where it come across like that. So if you say I be seeing women, police fight men, that doesn't say anything about agreeing with me. That's a blank statement. That's not a. I mean, if you educated, you would know that's not a statement where I could tell what that means. Was I supposed to see that and think that meant what you just said? Like I was supposed to read that and that means you're agreeing with me? Okay, I missed the agreement part. Let me see. He said, I be seeing women police fight men. He said he just agreed with me. What in this sentence establishes this sentence as an agreement? Because I just see a statement. I don't see nowhere where this says it's agreed to nothing. I'm not assuming nothing. Why would I assume anything? I'm just only going to read what you said. You say, you don't, I be seeing women police fight men. There's nothing to assume because I know you're trying to be smart now, but if you was, okay, okay, listen, I'm going to have to, okay, listen, y'all. This is what I got to go through. First question. Being a police and being a soldier are men's jobs too, ain't they? So he questioning me, right? Right? He not saying they shouldn't be asking me, right? Just check this out, the shit you got to go through. He says men's jobs too. I responded and said, what? You can find a job that a woman could do as a soldier that won't put her in harm's way, which ain't got to get physical. And you can find a job that women could do as police, won't put them in harm's way, right? He come back with another incomplete sentence. I be seeing women police fight men. That's not no type of that's no type of sentence that I really even should have responded to because it's an incomplete sentence. It's an uneducated, incomplete sentence. But I got to try to read this. I got to try to respond to something that's really not written in a way for me to know what's the purpose of that statement. Because it's just, he just telling me what he be seeing. Okay, so you be seeing police fight men. Okay, so what? See, this is where education come in at. When you say, come type over and say, I be seeing women police fight men. Really, I shouldn't have responded at all. Because all you're doing is saying what you've been seeing. Right? Then he come back and say he ain't agreeing with me. How you agreeing with me when you didn't say nothing to me? You just made a statement on what you be seeing. What you be seeing. I ain't got time. Listen, let me move on for everybody else. I don't got time. I don't got time. Like, I don't got time. Listen, go outside, smoke a cigarette, come back in 30 minutes. I don't, and get an education. Get an education, right? So you can communicate. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what school you went to, but they didn't do a good job. Man, listen, get a good job, go to school so you could be intelligent, so you can answer an intelligent question and have an intelligent conversation and get off what's on your chest and not speak in riddles and just say it with your chest and just boom. What you think about this. All the weirdo stuff, all that's going to do is get you called out your name and blocked. I got this much tolerance. I don't know what he want because he ain't saying full sentences. It's uneducated. It's uneducated. See, a lot of these young people, they didn't pay attention in school. They get on social media and they don't know how to write a full sentence. They couldn't write a paragraph. They couldn't write an essay. They unintelligent, right? Even some of the older people, they ain't that, you know what I'm saying? So they can't say a full sentence. They can't have an intelligent conversation. You got to try to guess what the hell they saying. I don't know what he want because he never really said nothing for me to really deal with. Which just means next time I see stuff like that, just ignore it. You know, unless you say something where I could really respond to, I can't be guessing what you're trying to say. And you know what you're trying to say. And then you think I know what you were trying to say, but you didn't really say it. You know what you were trying to say, but you wasn't able to relay it. You have to be able to relay what you're trying to say. You can't just know what you're trying to say and think you could just say some kindergarten words and I'm supposed to know what you're saying. And you typing like you in the third grade. I don't know what the hell you talking about. I'm not trying to imply nothing. You got to tell me what you got to say so we can have an intelligent conversation. Other than that, let me talk to everybody else. Because when it get to a point you want too much attention anyway, that's the issue. When it's 100 people over here that I have to keep my conversation going. I can't take time for no one person that really a lot of times be off subject and weirdo stuff, you know. See what I'm saying? The point of the matter is that the title say boxing. So when you start talking about police and all that, you know what I'm saying? What do the title say? The title say women's boxing shows a lack of international decency. So when you want to start going all the way down the road, if you can't tie it back to boxing, then it's just some tomfoolery. You know, something on, you know what I'm saying? I don't really got a lot of time for that type of stuff. I know what I'm saying. That the violence in sports to put females out there boxing is degrading the country. So if you got females out there boxing and you got a female officer and she walk up to a man and say, "Sir, you can't park here." Female boxing and a female taking punches could subliminally encourage him to think he can punch the female cop because he's watching females get punched. Because you got to understand when two females is boxing psychologically, even though it's a female punching a female, it's also females taking punches. So when you look at the social structure of people watching females taking punches, you're telling people it's all right for females to take punches, which is not all right. Now that could translate into more female fights, into males fighting females, and into females taking all type of physical abuse that ain't boxers. Because you're not upholding a female as something dainty, as something you don't touch, as something that you don't fight, as something that has class, right? Something that's different than the men. And so if you got male boxing and then you have female boxing, you're making the females just like the men. But men don't get pregnant. Men don't got breasts with milk in them. Men don't get breast cancer as much as females and all of this. Men's stomachs don't carry babies. If a man get hit in the stomach, it, it ain't gonna stop him from having no baby. You know what I'm saying? And so now you bring in this negative energy and you degrading the beauty of a female. So no, it looks weird to me. As a little boy, their mama told me, you don't hit girls. When I grew up, we had little fights in grade school, mostly all boys. And anytime there would be a big girl fight, they would be a little butchy. They would be the more tomboyish girls would get in fights. But the girls, Julie, Leslie, my sister, Michelle, now, you never seen girls fighting when I was growing up. You never seen girls fighting in the 60s and the 70s. That's new. You never seen girls fighting. Something you just don't ever see. Not only did you never see girls fighting, you never seen boys fighting once they got older than the fifth, sixth grade when I was growing up. You only seen little kids fighting. Boxing was just men. There was no female boxing because nobody would have watched it because everybody's teaching men you don't hit women. Women are delicate. So how you going to teach men that women are delicate, but then turn around and put women in a man's sport to beat on each other? When I watch Clarissa fight, she looks unattractive to me. She doesn't look cute to me. She doesn't look pretty. She looks rough. I would not talk to her or date her. I wouldn't. She's not attractive to me. A WNBA basketball player, I wouldn't. They're not attractive to me. They're just not. Women doing masculine things are very unattractive to me. Very. They don't look like sister. They don't look like auntie. They don't look like mommy. They don't look like grandma. They don't look like wifey. That's not wife. That's not my wifey. My wifey don't box. My wife don't box. You know what I'm saying? So it shows the degradation of the nation. I don't know, bro. I can't. I just can't no more. I can't respond no more. You know what I'm saying? Let it go. We moving on, bro. I'm not gonna mess my. I can't mess my conversation up talking to you. Let it go. You know what I'm saying? Let it go. I'm at just how you come back tomorrow. You ruining it for everybody else. Okay? You're not special, bro. Let me have my conversation. Okay? I tried to relate with what you were saying. You wasn't even cool enough to get that straight. Shut up talking to me. Okay? I don't know you. I don't want to argue with you. I want to talk about what I'm talking about. And I already told you. You didn't express yourself right. What you said you was trying to do, you wasn't able to express that. What part I got to keep telling you? You don't have good communication skills. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Bro, listen. Come back tomorrow. Okay? It's real simple. I blocked him till tomorrow. What's that? People, on the side note, when they're in the live chat and they type, they don't type in a way for the content creators to know what they're saying. They do all this shorthand and stuff, and they just think. They're not understanding from the point of view that when we read it, we have to try to figure out what you're saying. And if you don't say all the words to explain what you're trying to say, from my point of view, I have no idea what you're saying. Now, if he's so smart, he would have looked at this statement and he would have seen that. He would have said, yeah, I see what you're saying. This is just a blank statement. I didn't really give you the opportunity to respond. So for him now to say he's super smart, but he can't see where his statement was a blank statement that didn't lead me in a direction to what he was trying to say, means that if he's going to medical school, should nobody go to him for no medical treatment. That's all it means. Because he's liable to fill out your prescription where the man don't even know what he's trying to say. I mean, it was real clear that the man didn't express himself, whatever the hell he was trying to say, tell me. It never showed up. I mean, I read it back. It wasn't just slang. He never said what he was trying to say, bro. It happens over here all the time. They type and they know what they're trying to say. But communication is about the person you're talking to knowing what you're saying. You can't send me no shorthand. You got to let me know, what are you trying to say to me? And if I don't understand it, you need to look at your sentence again. And then you'll see why I don't understand it. I'm in a chat that's moving like this. I have to read what you're saying, but you have to explain it out. You have to spell it out. So, brother, do you think so-and-so, 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 so-and-so? Question mark. So I know it's a question. You can't ask me a question with no question mark. So, brother, send me a statement. No question mark. And I'm supposed to know it's a question. He said he asked me a question. Not a question mark nowhere. The only way we know a question is with a question mark. Now, sometimes you could say, do we think, do you think? And I know it's a question. But what he typed without a question mark, and if he would have put a question mark on there, it would have been an incomplete question. The question wasn't even asked in a way to put a question mark. So, yeah, he saying he did all this stuff. Right. Don't be smart in the world and be dumb over here, though. Bring that same smart you got at school, bring it over here in my chat. Why you come in my chat dumb as hell? You obviously ain't that dumb at medical school. So don't cheat me and bring the dumb one over here. Because at medical school, your name is Randy Jackson or something. And over here, your name Wild something. I'm talking to Wild. I ain't talking to the intelligent person that's using their real name going to school. I'm talking to the liar bootleg person that we don't know who the fuck you is with a fake ass name playing with a real nigga. So don't come over here with that with no fake name telling me you were no astronaut and shit. Your name Wild, some bullshit that shows no class. He ain't got no class. We would have picked a better name than that, okay? Come on, your name Wild, some bullshit. You think if I was going to Harvard, you think I'd come over here, my name Wild 23, 24? I would have a name that fit what I'm doing. Even if I didn't use my real name, if I'm going to Harvard, my name Professor One or something. But I ain't wild idiot number 249. And get your wild ass out of here before I wild out. You know what I'm saying? Get the hell out of here. Yeah. Don't tell me you're intelligent with a stupid title. If you say so. You know, these people, they want to get a title at stupid as hell. And then go back and say, yeah, bro, but I go to the University of Columbia. Bro, your name as stupid as hell though. You think Papoose look like a weak man? Papoose, I mean, honestly, I don't really think Papoose look weak. I think like Papoose chasing the bag, and he's like, "Shorty like me, I can hit this. She gonna be a heavyweight champ. This gonna make me look good. Gonna make Remy look bad. I'm gonna be in the limelight. I could get a bag out of this." So he kind of look like he pimping. You know what I mean? He kind of look like he pimping. I ain't gonna hate on Pap. Pap kind of look like, you know what I'm saying? On the money side, it's a good move. On the money side, him pulling her is a real good move. You know what I'm saying? On the money side, from a pimp or a player, you know what I'm saying? You got to be able to put on different shoes. From the player pimp side, I just didn't want to say that because I didn't want to put him out there. But y'all be asking me, so I wasn't going to say that part. I knew that, but I wasn't going to say that. But think about it. She the champ. Bam, he get to pull it. He get to knock that. Right while Remy with a bum nigga from a rap battle. What do he do? Dump Remy. He go get with the champ. Remy hot. See? He playing it. You know what I'm saying? So he like, Remy all tough and everything. So he went and got a chick like, come talk shit to my chick. She'll knock your ass out. You know what I'm saying? So it was a good move. I ain't gonna hate on Pap. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hate on Pap, on the player side. Yeah, I see what he doing. I see what he doing. That's a good move for him. His name, he wiped away that he got cheated on. Now it's like, oh, you know what I'm saying? When he got with her, it made Remy look like, oh, you fucked up. You lost your man. He with the champ. Yeah, he with a real popular chick. See what I'm saying? He held you down in jail all that time. He held you down all that time and you cheated on Pap. Boom, he moved on with his life. He with Clarissa. See what I'm saying? So he's stunting. So it's a good move for him. That he knocking that back. You know what I'm saying? That's a good move that he knocking that back. You know what I'm saying? That's a good move. And I ain't gonna hate on Clarissa either. She doing what she do. You know what I'm saying? I don't like her boxing. But she getting a bag and stuff. But I don't like her boxing. I don't like her as a boxer because I wouldn't want to see her 20 years from now with no breast cancer or nothing like that, or find out later she can't have no baby or have miscarriages and shit. See what I'm saying? So on the other side, this is for her benefit. Really, I don't like her out there taking all that punishment as a female. I just don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But she doing what she want to do, but I don't like it as far as society go. Not her doing it. I don't like society doing it. I don't like that there's even a league for her to be in. Look at the girl she beat up. That's a woman that got beat up like that. I just don't see where that's positive in society to see women get beat up. Women are supposed to be protected. They're supposed to be like flowers. They're not supposed to be rough like that. So when I say women is like flowers and they supposed to be rough, and a brother come over here and say, well, what about they're in the military? What about they're in the police? To me, that's slow because I already answered that. See what I'm saying? So it's like you trying to go round and round. Just deal with what I said. I said women's supposed to be soft. Women's supposed to be upheld. They not supposed to be in that. So don't come ask me about a situation where women ain't soft. See what I'm saying? So the questions brother was asking me and started telling me, well, they do this and that. Those questions was weak anyway, because you already see me saying that I think that women shouldn't be in certain men positions. So for you to come and say, well, what about the women in this man position? What about the women in that man position? I think I'm already speaking on that. Basically, so now we into some child. See, that's where it gets childish. Just deal with this conversation and then put it where you want to put it. At the end of the day, I don't really believe women should be boxing and be punched on. So now, if I don't believe a woman should be boxing and be punched on, and if a woman be a police and get punched on, then you put it together on what I'm saying. Use your brain. Because I had the other brother come start asking me all these masculine jobs women doing when I'm already clarifying I don't like jobs or I don't like nothing where women could get dealt with like men. So now you come ask me, well, what about this she get dealt with like a man? What about that she get dealt with like a man? Well, what about you figure that out? What about you finish listening to what I'm saying and you apply that to how you see it? Instead of being silly. Then somebody go start, just silly. Exactly. That's what we was talking about. Brothers brought up the police. I didn't bring up the police. Brothers brought up the police. Brothers brought up the military. Somebody else asked me about police. Somebody asked me that. What are you talking about? What you thought we was talking about? Somebody else asked me that. See, here we go again. Somebody asked me about police. I'm saying, don't ask me that. He said, see, his people be so. Look what he say. I thought we was talking about boxing and not the police. Somebody asked me that. I brought it back up because I'm addressing what somebody else was saying. Okay. Yeah, I can't. Bro, something wrong with you. You know what I'm saying? I do. I'm bringing up what somebody else was just saying to reiterate why it wasn't necessary to say that. This dude come and say, you see, I told you, he not, that man ain't going no Harvard or nothing. That man's slow. I'm saying why not to bring up the police to apply that yourself. That I'm talking about boxing. I said I'm talking about boxing. So you look at the police, and if you feel a woman getting punched in the police, when I'm saying she shouldn't get punched in boxing, you do that. This boy come and say, I thought we want to talk about police when he the one brought up the damn police, and that's what I'm addressing his idiotic. See what I'm saying? I just got to get him out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because these conversations is too intelligent from him. And the bottom line with Wild 23 is he don't want to have a conversation. He wants to argue and debate. Instead of him just saying, I don't want to listen to your conversation. I want to argue. That's all you have to say. He don't want to hear no conversation. He don't want you all to enjoy a conversation. He wants to argue and debate. And I don't argue and debate good because I revert to violence. You know what I'm saying? And I'm start, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna start disrespecting you. I'm gonna start trying to get you to come outside. I don't feel like that tonight. I don't feel like calling him all out his name. I just not tonight. I don't feel like calling him out his name, trying to get him to come outside and play. I don't feel like that tonight. Tonight. I'm just gonna really get rid of him permanently because I don't feel where he. Let me find him and just really get rid of him permanently because I don't see where he. Uh, I don't think he has the mental capability for these type of conversations over here. These are high level conversations over here. And of course, if you read the title, it says women's boxing shows a lack of international decency. So, in my effort to talk about women's boxing, of course, I would start showing examples of what? International decency declining. That's what the titles say. So, of course, I would give some examples of international decency declining. And you can see international decency declining, the way people are behaving, the way women are treated. You see police slam with, you know what I'm saying? Look. There was a time where a police officer would never slam a woman like that. All of this is causing that. You understand? Now our women is being slammed on the ground, knee in their back, like dudes. A little skinny woman that any officer can just put the cuffs on and just walk on and put her in the car. But international decency is declining heavily. Even when you look into school, the little children are cursing the teachers out. Talk fifth graders, third graders, sixth graders, eighth graders. They have to call the police and restrain them because decency is gone. It's hardly none. There's no respect. There's no manners. And when you don't have decency, and you don't have respect and manners, then you become dumber because now you don't have a good education system because you got a bunch of people sitting in the class that ain't going to sit down and comprehend and have comprehension skills and stuff like that. And so imagine you watching Clarissa or any woman fighting and your daughter watching it. But imagine if your son watching it. Imagine you got a daughter 6, you got a son 7. Your 7-year-old son, all he see is women hitting women. Now, how is it going to translate to him? Don't hit women. Women get hit. That's what he's seeing. See, when I was growing up and they told men not to hit women, you never could see no women getting hit nowhere. So it made sense. You couldn't turn on your TV and see women getting hit. The only place you used to see women getting hit was on roller derby. Roller derby was the first one to start breaking that rule. Anybody from the old school know? Because when you watch wrestling, they had no women. They had Dick the Bruiser and them kind. They had men. And there no women originally in wrestling throwing each other around, hitting each other over the head with chairs. That was strictly men. But you did have the roller derby, women doing that, right? And a lot of parents wouldn't let you watch that. Let me give you some guys. The Three Stooges used to hit each other on the head with hammers and stuff. You know, parents, good parents, they would not let us watch the Three Stooges. Because my mother would say, if we watched the Three Stooges and Larry hit Curly on the head with a hammer, she said these kids gonna think the hammer don't hurt because Curly all right. So she said they get to get in there playing and one of them hit the other one in the head with the hammer. I'm saying that to say these imagery does have effects on society. Now you have to ask yourself, do you want to see women being punched? I just don't. I don't I don't want to see that. So now if you come and ask me, what about the military? I would ask you, am I responsible for the military? If you ask, what about police? Am I responsible for the police? Did I set up the police system? See what I'm saying? We using intelligence over here. Why you ask me about something I ain't got nothing to do with? The proper question would be, if you ran the police, would you have, see, that's what you're supposed to ask me. You're not supposed to ask me about something somebody else doing. Okay? You're supposed to ask me, if you feel like I'm saying don't have this in boxing, but it's happening over here, then you would ask me if you was intelligent. If you ran the police department, would you have female police officers? Which I would say no. I would only have a few police officers that would be responsible for abducting females. I would have to have female police officers because women might have to be searched. Women might have to be arrested. But I would try to have it where the women do not have to come into contact with the men criminals. That the women police officers would mostly be coming in contact with female criminals and arresting them. And then if you say, well, what if they get hit? The criminal not supposed to hit the police officer. That's a charge. So that's not the same as boxing, where they hitting each other with no charges. Because anybody can hit anybody, but that's battery. Okay? That's battery. So don't ask me about anybody hitting anybody, because now you're getting silly. Yes, anybody can hit anybody. But what we're talking about is degrading the image of women, showing our babies, showing our sons, showing our daughters, women fighting. And I'm just trying to figure out how you can show women fighting 1 minute and talk about breast cancer the next minute. When women got breasts and they getting punched in their breasts. And can't nobody tell me that it's safe for women to be getting hit in the breast, elbowed in the breast. Nobody can tell me it's safe for women to be boxing. It is 100% inhumane and unsafe for women to be boxing. Period. Women's chests are not like our chests. That's why when she have a baby, milk come out, because her chest is connected to her whole body. Our chest, just our chest. We don't got no tubes in there that provide milk. How, when a woman have a baby, why her titties start swelling up and why they start making milk? How do the breasts know she had a baby? It's got to be connected or the breast wouldn't know you had a baby. Why our chest is flatter and they chest stick out? Do it look like you should punch a titty? No. And so if you've been raising men and teaching men not to hit women, why would you have women beating up women? Because they told us not to hit women because women was delicate. Well, that means they delicate no matter who hit them. A fist is a fist. So if you're telling a man when I'm growing up, that is, if you hit a woman, you can give her stomach problems. She might not be able to have a baby. You might be able to have a breast. That's because I hit her with what? My fist. Okay, is that woman's body going to know the difference between my fist and a woman's fist? So the same thing if a woman accidentally hit her in her breast, The breast ain't gonna be like, oh, I'll be all right. It's a woman's fist. It's still a fist. So the fact that people is sitting back watching women brutalize each other is a problem. Yes, yes, Teresa. Yes, they're encouraging women. You're 100% correct to fight. And it's dangerous. It's dangerous. We will see breast cancer and problems from some of these women. We will see miscarriages, and we will see more men fighting women because you're teaching men that women can fight. It's all right for a woman to get hit. That's basically what it's saying. It's all right. Even if a woman's hitting her, you're still teaching the public it's all right to hit a woman. When, look, if my mother told me, don't hit your sister because you can hurt her breast or you can hurt her stomach. And so, and you can hurt her right there. Or you can hurt her stomach and she might not have a baby. All right. If my mother tell me not to hit my sister because I can hurt her breast or I can make it where she can't have a baby, shouldn't you teach women don't hit each other because you might hurt each other's breasts or you might prevent each other from having a baby? Tell me if I'm lying. Tell me if I'm lying. I remember they had them fighting the ones that was like, she wasn't really a trans, she was this other thing they call born like that or something. But tell me I'm lying. If my mama raised me and we was taught, don't hit a woman because if I hit my sister, I can hurt her breast or I can hurt her and she can't have a baby. Shouldn't we tell women, hey, you all are women. Y'all can't fight because y'all could hurt each other's breasts or hit each other in the wrong place and stop each other from having a baby. That's my point. You're turning around and doing what you've been saying women should not do. We've always been taught that women cannot be hit, that their bodies are not like men's bodies. But now you got women out there with their breasts wrapped down real tight, which definitely cannot be healthy. Y'all know that's not healthy. To wrap your breasts down so they flat real tight. And then you get elbowing and wrestling and come on, man. You know what? We done sold our souls to the devil. And then people out there, and it's like Rome. It's like wicked Rome, like the gladiators. And people out there, all you want is your person to win. No regards for the people's health or nothing. It's savage. People bleeding. Like I said, I don't know if y'all seen that one fight back in the day where the brother ended up with that big knot up on his head like he could have passed away. It's brutal. They've been doing a good job stopping the fight before the men get hurt too early. Cool. They've been doing a good job stopping it. It's still a little brutal on their heads and stuff. It's still a little brutal. Look at Ali. Look at Evander Holyfield. Y'all can't see something wrong with Evander. Look at Foreman. Y'all couldn't see something wrong with Foreman. Look at Mayweather just said his father got some issues. His uncles got some issues. It might be in the family. He might have some issues. Go look. Floyd talk about mental decline of his uncle and his daddy. And he trying not to blame it on boxing. Y'all ain't see that video? It's recent, just came out. Both of them got some mental decline. If you look at Sugar Ray, you could see it a little bit. If you looked at what's her name for sure, Tommy Hearns, you could see. If you seen Tommy Hearns toward the end of his lifetime, he might still be alive, but if you could see it. You can see it. You can see it. You could see it in Joe Frazier. Just about every fighter. If you looked at them when they start fighting and how they talked, and if you looked at them after a career, you could see Larry Holmes. You could see the decline. And I ain't gonna lie. You ever been watching a fight and it be just too much? You know what I'm saying? It just be too brutal. You know what I'm saying? I've watched too many fights that it was too much. You know what I'm saying? It was, when the fight's over, man, you know, it just was too much. It was too savage. You know what I'm saying? It was too savage. You know what I'm saying? Fights that was real brutal, I never enjoyed them. And I'm the only one that watched the fight and you watched it, but when it was over, it wasn't a good feeling when the fight was over. It's like your mind can't pick up to, your mind, because you wanted to watch this fight. So you hyped up watching the fight and they fighting. But then somebody be getting hurt real bad. And then by the time the fight is over, you be in this weird state. I can't put my finger on it, but it's weird. You know what I'm saying? When somebody get beat up real bad, like when two dudes fight and nobody get beat up too bad, or maybe somebody get knocked out, but he get up and he all right, you enjoy that fight. But man, when you watch those fights and then dude get beat up real bad, and then at the end of the fight, I can't put my finger on the feeling, but it's not like you enjoyed the fight. And you kind of try to mentally blow off the barbarian expedition you just seen. You don't want to face that was barbarian. And it don't really be good. And you don't talk about that fight. The fight where people really get beat up bad, man, people can't, when it's over, it's like it's over. You know what I'm saying? I've been guilty myself, and you know what I'm saying? You do feel grossed out. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I can't explain it, man. It don't be good like that. You know what I'm saying? It don't be good. You know what I mean? We just been brainwashed into it. That's why conversations like this help, because even me, I ain't never thought about this like that. So a lot of people, when they be coming, you got to sit and listen to me, because I be breaking down things that even I got to think about. We be going deep over here. It be things make me even change. A lot of times when I get through going live, my mentality be changed. This is one of them lives that, from me making this live and saying certain things, when I watch a fight, I'm going to still be thinking about this. It's going to really, you know what I'm saying? Because I never really thought about it. Not really. But it's like when I seen the ladies, I was like, how you raising children. You ever had a son and he do a little something? You say, boy, stop. And he do a little something. Boy, stop. And then he do something else. You say, Junior, would you stop? And then he do keep on. And then that's when you realize, hey, You know what I'm saying? And you think back, he been tripping today, but he do that one thing where it put all that into perspective. You ready to really get this boy. But when you think back, he been clowning. It just didn't get so egregious where you could see what he been on. Then it get to the point, hey Teresa, then it get to the point where you see this boy been, boy, or sometimes your children go to school and they messing around the first month in school, then the second month, then the teacher say this and that, then all of a sudden the teacher call you one time and you finally put it all together. Oh no, oh no. And then that whole situation gets serious. You bring up all that back up. Because when they went this far, that's what connected the dots. And you like, you know what, Junior, that teacher keep on calling me. You know what I'm saying? And it's all the way up. Oh, I get it. Oh, this ain't a one of you really acting a fool this year. I ain't really catch on. Sometimes you even think, I gotta do something. This boy gonna go to jail. Sometimes if it's a boy, you can see where he going to jail or he gonna get unalived. I don't know if you raise boys, but man, when you got sons, sometimes you can see them on their way to the penitentiary if you don't do something. Some parents don't see it. Sometimes grandma gonna come and say, you need to do something with Jimmy because he gonna be out here dead or he gonna be locked up in the penitentiary the way he carrying on. And then sometimes that wake mama up. But sometimes you see it yourself. Because sometimes they did something and now the school gotta call the police. And you can't believe your son just did something where the school gotta call the police. You looking at them like, boy, is you crazy? But he been messing up, but you didn't know he was going to do no stuff where he got to go to the police. You didn't know he was going to go that far. But when you look back, you could see it. When you look back, you can see it. That's how I am with this. When I look at the female boxing now and I think about it, then I look back at all the boxing and I go, you know what? They have cleaned the boxing up because people have, been unalived after the fight a few times. But this new whole thing with the female boxing, I don't know. Because what's going to happen when Claressa meet another Claressa? And neither one of them will go down and they slug it out for like 12 rounds. Like, how? Because it's going to eventually be where it's going to be unhealthy. It ain't no way she ain't going to eventually have an unhealthy fight. Because we've seen Ali. Okay, we've seen Ali have all them fights. So how long is it gonna be before she gonna be risking brain damage? I didn't watch the last fight, but did she take any punches to the head? I know the other girl, it looked like she took damage. The other girl, from some highlight I seen somewhere on Instagram, I think, that came across my timeline. I think the other girl took some damage from a scene. I think she ain't look well. She looked, her face, it looked like she was getting really beat up at one point. That can't be good. You know what I mean? Mm. I have no idea what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't really like the female boxing. I don't know. But I was raised that women was dainty like flowers and should be cherished and taken care of. I can't watch no MMA. MMA, MMA is definitely, definitely a lack of decency at the highest level. It's just, I don't know. To let somebody just hammer fist somebody in the head like that and do what they do. I don't know where we going with the MMA. You know what I'm saying? The MMA is horrible. It really is. I can't really watch it like that. It's a little bit. It don't seem like it's legal, right? It's just a bit too bloody and just way too brutal. And then they got different kinds too. So they got the bare fist fighting coming back, and I don't know. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good. The MMA, then they got the bare fist. They got a couple of different types. That's barbaric, basically. People's eyes hanging over, busted. It's barbaric. One time I watched it, and it was just blood over the whole ring on the ground, and they was out there still fighting. And then the next fight, they had to come and fight with all them blood stains. And I'm like, this is not a good thing. And they got the bare knuckle and all that. You can't tell me that you're gonna get a bunch of men in no place to watch them type of fights, and them men ain't gonna go out in society and be extremely violent. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. You got some college kids, even some man take his high school son to that. You cannot tell me that that boy not gonna go to high school and do some of that stuff he's seen to somebody. They're gonna hurt somebody extremely bad. Ain't no way that's not gonna spread. Imagine you get to argue with some dude and he watch that stuff all the time, he practice that stuff and he get you and he do that stuff to you. You just a regular citizen. And now you got brain damage and everything because he did it on the concrete to you. Slammed you on your head on the concrete. Just think about that. You know what I'm saying? It's like going back to some ancient evil type of situations. Anything for money, anything to take the people's mind off of being slaves, and anything for blood and cheer. Yeah, how to get you like in a frenzy. Once they keep getting you in a frenzy like that, then can't the government use you to do stuff? You know what I'm saying? Imagine somebody watch that and he's a guard at a prison and your son in that prison. Yeah, look at Tupac. Tupac lost his life from watching Tyson. Came out acting a fool. All hyped up, ready to fight. Should too. Ruined the whole record label. I don't know if you've been to a fight, but if you go to like a big fight in one of these big major arenas like the MGM or whatever, and it's a big fight, man, it'd be hundreds of fights in the stands. Not no 10, anywhere from 100 and up throughout the night. By the end of the night, it'd be 100 or more fights in the stands. They do a good job of not letting the microphone pick up the ruckus where them men be in there getting crazy. Sometimes it won't be so bad, it might just be 10 or 15. But sometimes, especially if it's like a Mexican versus a black dude, oh man, they be in there, man. It be so violent in there and outside. It be mad fights where these people can't control themselves watching this fight. Their adrenaline get up. You know what I'm saying? What's up, traveler? Their adrenaline get up and they be crazy in there. Anybody been in a fight, like been to the big fights? We talking about Daniels. Now I'm not really talking about them in particular, but that is the stimulation from the fight. But I'm talking about just women fights, period, all the way back. They just the stimulation. But I'm talking about any women's fighting. And now we going into the whole brutality from that to the men to the MMA and all of that. But as far as the women, what I'm talking about, Crazy Pink, is just breaking down the ideology that women were delicate and we were always taught you're not supposed to fight women because of their breasts and because they get pregnant. This is what little boys was taught. You know what I'm saying? So I'm telling them when I was growing up, we was taught you can't hit girls because they got breasts and you could hurt them, or you hit them in the stomach, you can make them not have babies. So it's just wild to see the system wrapping women's chests down and putting them out there where they are getting hit in the breast and they are getting hit in the stomach. And it's like, I'm confused because I was raised that women's bodies can't take getting hit. My mother taught me that. My grandmother taught me that. My aunties, that women couldn't take getting hit. It would be too easy to hurt them. This is how I was raised. I got a sister a year younger than me, and as a little boy, my mother told me when I was little, you can't hit your sister because she's not a boy. And if you mess around, hit her in the wrong place, she might not be able to have a baby. And that was deep to me. I was like, oh wow. So I you know what I mean? That kind of like was a real wake up. And then when I went and looked at my sister, I'm like, I could see, oh, she not like me. I don't gotta wear slips. I wear underwear. I don't wear panties. I don't wear stockings. I don't wear dresses or skirts. So I could see what my mom was talking about. Oh, we different. I'm a boy. She a girl. So if my sister did something to me, I just go tell. I didn't hit her because I was like, oh, if I hit her, I might break her. You know, so I'm thinking as a little boy, I might break her and she don't work good no more. You know what I mean? Because that's what my mother told me. You can't hit a girl. She not like a boy. He said, if a boy hits you at school, hit him back. But girls don't hit girls. Girls, you'll break them. You'll hurt them. As a matter of fact, when my mother was growing up in Alabama, my mother was born in the 30s. When my mother was growing up, she played basketball. They banned basketball. They banned girls' basketball because girls was accidentally getting elbowed in their breasts. And my mother was kind of upset because she was really good at basketball, but they banned it in the U.S. because they felt that if the girls catch elbows in their breasts, it could cause serious damage. Or if they catch an elbow in the stomach. It was a many years before they brought basketball back for girls, but they banned it. My mother's generation was a generation where they banned it. Yep, she used to play. but they realized it was too dangerous for girls. And being raised with a sister younger than me, I agree 100%. There was no way my sister could do what I could do. And when it comes to boxing, if you don't have good referees and stuff, boxing ain't even good for me. Boxing wasn't good for Muhammad Ali. So how's boxing good for the ladies? Hitting in the head and all of that. I just think it's tacky. I think it's tacky watching women fight. To me, it's tacky. I think if men want to fight and they signed up for it, as long as you got somebody to try to break it up before they get hurt too bad, that's one thing. But as far as the feminine species, the one that's responsible for the population on the planet, the ones we depend on to have more people, the ones that breastfeed, the ones that get pregnant. It's crazy to have a species that make milk in their breasts or get pregnant and have babies do the same thing as the species that don't make no milk in their breasts and don't get pregnant. That don't make no sense. If you hit me in the stomach, that I don't have babies anyway. So make it make some sense. But you hit a woman in the stomach, you could ruin her whole reproductive system. It just don't make sense to me. It seems barbaric. It seems like we losing our way in society. And so then I led from that crazy pie, crazy pinky. I went from that to look at our schools now. Look at the children. Look at the women. Look how the police slam women on the ground. Look how the young girls fight the girls and try to beat each other really bad. Really be trying to stomp each other. Look at the young brothers, the young men, white, black, whatever. Look how they be trying to give each other head damage. The young boys at our schools try to throw each other on their head, on their neck, paralyzing each other, giving each other permanent brain damage. Maybe we need to relook at this. And then next, guns. I mean, where's the cutoff point to the guns and the gun violence? It don't seem smart. I think women can play a lot of sports. I think women are good at ice skating, skating, volleyball, all that. Basketball, I don't know. I don't think women basketball is good anyway. I don't think they can play. Shaq say lower the rim another half inch, but if you got to do all that, they go sit down. Women's basketball is boring. They can't play. They're not good enough. They're not built like men. But I think that women do a lot of good sports in the Olympics, competitive sports, speed skating, and all that type of stuff. Softball, volleyball. I think all that stuff is good. I think any women's sports where it's not no physical violence, I think it's fine. Tennis, you know, but definitely because if you even look at wrestling for women is safer than boxing. They got headgear on and they're not hitting each other. They just grappling. They're not really elbowing each other in the stomach or in the breast. They grab it. So wrestling is even safer. Wrestling is by far safer for women than boxing. I don't see where wrestling is necessarily that dangerous because they're not really hitting. They're just grabbing. I don't think their bodies get damaged from grabbing and rolling around and stuff. I don't think they would get damaged. I think just hitting, yeah, for sure. But I think like the college wrestling and stuff, you know what I'm saying? But the boxing, I don't know, man. I don't know. And then it's not even good to me. And boxing is for men. Men watch boxing, so I can't see no men watching no ladies fight. I mean, I lady boxing is just not good to me. It's corny. I don't want to see no damn ladies boxing. That's why I didn't watch Claressa's fight. I didn't want to see no chicks boxing. How the hell am I supposed to get something out of that? How that's gonna be good? Come on. I never watched Layla Ali fight. I wasn't interested. First, you ain't gonna have no competition. You was not gonna never have as many good lady boxers as men. So the competition gonna suck. That's why Claressa fought that girl. That wasn't no good fight. Come on. I didn't watch it, but I'm sure she dusted the floor where they just find any old fight. Why? Because how you gonna find like top ranking fighters for women where women don't fight like that? You're not gonna find no Hitman Hearns, Sugar Ray Leonard. You're not gonna find that caliber of competition with women. You can barely find it now with the men because so many men go into other sports. They don't want to box. They want to go into baseball, football. They want to make more money and be healthier. So you're never gonna have enough competition in female boxing. They got the one chick, the black chick that's winning a lot, that they could probably, if she in the same weight class, to put against Claressa to have that big fight. Other than that, they trying to go back and get Layla Ali because they ain't got nobody. Who? They ain't got nobody. You know what I'm saying? Daniels, who the hell is Daniels? Who is Daniels? Oh, Lonnie? The Lonnie Daniels chick? The Lonnie Daniels chick? You saying she got abused in a relationship? All right, so she got abused in a relationship. So that's why she took up. Okay, so that's why she chose boxing. Right. So she chose to go and be violent and beat up women and put her breasts on the line and stuff like that. It's all right. Okay, that's just one, but it's a whole boxing. I'm saying who, why would they have a sport for people to go watch women beat each other up? Even if you take her out the picture, what society, right? What intelligent, upgrade society would have women fighting and punching each other in the breast and beating each other up? That is the fall of society. For that to even be considered something to even go see or to enjoy is sick. Just even the fact that they have to use the example, oh, for she fighting because she been getting her ass beat. Oh, yeah, okay, that makes it better. Like, that's really proving my point. If it was so bad for her getting beat up, why is she out there trying to get beat up and beating people up? I thought beating people up was bad. So, like, well, she used to get beat up. So she decided to do it professionally. She decided to beat women up because she didn't like getting beat up as a woman. It's like, what? So you, the victim of domestic violence, and you want to go fight on TV and encourage violence. Because what is the cutoff point where people that watch you ain't going to be violent? Like people that watch you are going to be violent. So it make sense. People that watch that are going to be violent. Especially in the internet era where they can clip it up and keep showing the punches over and over again on Instagram. It used to be we had to listen to a fight on the radio, then next week it'll be on the wide world of sports the next week. And once you see that fight, that's it. You're not going to see those punches no more. Nowhere on TV are going to chop up those punches. You don't got a cell phone. You don't got an internet. So when you see that fight, that's it. Now imagine the mental where you can go on your phone and you can go to Instagram, you can go to TikTok, and you can watch them punches over and over and over and over. You can go to YouTube, you can watch them punches over and over. You can watch the fight, you can watch the punches. You used to couldn't do that. You had to see it live or on Wide World of Sports, and once it was over, it was over. Now, it could be hypnotic over and over and over and over and over and over. You can watch somebody get beat. They can even make little jokes about it, chop it up and make little TikTok videos of somebody getting punched out. Yes. I don't see where it's good. Not no women. And I don't see where it's marketable. And I don't see who would want to watch it. I wouldn't watch it. I mean, women's boxing. I guarantee you that fight that Clarissa just had was trash. It was just people out there watching the brutality. The girl Daniels had no chance of winning. She probably got her ass punched around the whole fight. And if it was a decision, she lost the decision, was all brutalized and beat up, put another cap in Clarissa's belt to build her up for a big fight, and this one was just used by boxing just to get another win. You wasn't never gonna win. Daniels wasn't never gonna win. They never wanted her to win, and if it would have been close, they would have gave the fight to. We don't even want to talk about the judges. We don't even want to talk about the judges. I don't even want to go down that road. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's unattractive, and they can't fight. You got to find another woman to fight them, and it goes against what we teaching our sons. And there's no way we're gonna be able to teach our sons not to hit women. That because we don't teach our sons not to hit women. We teach our sons not to hit women because women are more delicate. You might hurt them. This is how boys have always been taught about women. That they get pregnant. If you hit them in the stomach, it's a problem. I'm telling you what my grandma, my great, everybody, what they used to teach us. And if you accidentally hit her in the breast, you can cause her to have problems. So now when you show young boys women fighting, how you going to turn around and tell your son you ain't supposed to hit women when they seeing women hitting women? Because actually, if you look at a woman's breast and you look at her reproduction areas in her stomach, not only should men not be hitting women, women shouldn't be hitting women if they got breasts, if they could get breast cancer, if they could be where they can't have a baby. So women ain't supposed to be hitting women. When you look at the reproductive and the breast cancer and all that. So not only shouldn't men be hitting women, women shouldn't be getting hit. Women that have babies should not be getting hit. These are women. Now, what kind of society you got when you start making lots of money and hyping up women fighting? That means translated to no rules. That is just whatever. So now the children want to beat up the teacher. The children going to be fighting. The little girls going to be slamming the little girls. Everybody going to be fighting everybody. And what happens when everybody can fight and you promote violence with your hand? Then you end up with violence with a gun. You end up with mass shootings because it's violence. And it's not going to stay in the paper bag. As we can see, we had violence in a little bag. We had violence wrapped up in here, and it's like, oh, we got it nice and wrapped up. It's men boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's men boxing. And then we start unwrapping. Oh, and then the women could fight. And then it's all everybody could punch anybody. Oh, you know what? As a matter of fact, we could shoot. We could shoot each other. When do you stop unfolding it? It's violence. At the end of the day, that's what you're promoting, violence. It's violence. I don't know what they're trying to call it. That's not violence because you got a referee. What's the difference in me punching a teacher, me punching a girl, and them punching each other? A punch is a punch. And so now when you take it to the point where you got the women doing it, you have degraded your society. You have women fighting. It doesn't get no lower than that. So I don't agree with it. I think we fallen. And people are just going to get on social media and say, oh, why are they fighting like that? You're going to see all these fights. And nobody's going to associate these fights with this professional fighting. They're going to act like, oh, but I mean, if you look in the school system now, all across this country, you seeing fightings, stabbings, and shootings, violence. And you trying to market violence. And yeah, you marketed violence with men, but you done stoop to an all-time low when you market violence between women. It don't get no more whack than that. You know what I'm saying? That's as whack as it gets. So you know what? That's it for tonight. Y'all have a good night. Go subscribe to Pharaoh Said That Live. All right? Victory.